Welcome to the We Guard Cleveland podcast with me, your host, Casey. In this episode, we're going to go over three things. We're going to go over what is wrong with the bullpen. We're going to go over some injury updates and roster moves. And we are going to go over how this series against the Minnesota Twins has been going with the Guardians and how they could finish it off well. So we're going to start out with what's wrong with the bullpen. This will probably be our longest video yet since we have a lot to cover here. So I'm going to go over my the three most important pitching stats, along with one that is not a common stat, but I figured it out myself. So we're going to start out with Emmanuel Clase. Clase is struggling this year with a 3.33 ERA, which is not great for a closer. On the year, he has 20 strikeouts and only 5 walks, which is pretty good. His strikeouts divided by walks is the statistic I made, and you want it higher. It's an average. He has 400, which is pretty good. So he leads the league in appearances. Clase does. So I think by the way he's playing, he seems like he's injured. His arm is hurting him. There's nothing official on that, but he leads the league in appearances, and he throws the ball very hard. And a lot of those appearances, he's used up a lot of pitches in. So I think I don't think by the way he's playing that he's 100% healthy. He also leads the league in saves, but he also leads the league in blown saves. He has 5 blown saves and 17 saves, which 5 blown saves is not good. I'd rather him only have 12 saves, but no blown saves. Next is James Karinchak. Karinchak's been struggling lately. He's given up a lot of home runs, and he is having a lot of trouble with these new rules. He had a 4.18 ERA, 16 walks, and 32 strikeouts, which is a 200 average, which is not good. You want above a 300 average for the strikeouts and walks rate. So let's talk about the new rules again that have affected Karinchak, and that is the pitch clock. With you only have 15 seconds in between pitches with nobody on base and 18 with a runner on. And we have said that Karinchak's pitching motion takes about 30 to 40 seconds because of his routine. He tosses the ball up in the air. He wipes his hair. He uses the rosin bag, gets the signal, and then pitches, and that takes up lots of time. And pitching routines are a very important thing. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail here on that since we have a lot of content to cover. Next is Trevor Stephan. So on the year, Trevor Stephan's statistics look really good because he has pitched a lot of times where the Guardians are losing 3-2, or they're losing by a run or so. And he does awesome when they're losing. Stephan always pitches great when we're losing. But when we're winning, it's when he comes in when we're winning and struggles, like he did 2 nights ago in the opener against the Twins, which, I think kind of costed us the game. We were up 6-3, and he gave up home runs, which tied up the game. I watched it live. He did not have his command. He's one of those guys that's either in or off. I think he struggles under pressure since he does a lot better when he comes in the game and they're losing and there's no pressure. But on the year, he has a 2.96 ERA with 9 walks, 28 strikeouts, and a 3.11 strikeouts per walk average, which is good. Next is Sam Hentges, who is just coming off the IR, so we really can't judge him yet. So he has a 3.00 ERA with 5 walks and 10 strikeouts in only 9 innings. 200 would be his average, which is not good. But again, he's coming off an injury. We haven't really gotten to see him pitch much, so we really cannot judge him yet. Eli Morgan, he is a really good pitcher. I know he had the bad night last night, but his problem is you cannot trust him to get his strikeout. He has gotten a lot of strikeouts this year, a decent amount of strikeouts. Also had a lot of innings pitched, but he can't. His stuff is not strikeout stuff. He doesn't throw any nasty pitches, I'd say. He throws a fastball and a changeup and soft contact, but he's not a strikeout pitcher. He's faced 7, 8, 9 a lot, and he's gotten strikeouts there, but he doesn't have the velocity to be a good strikeout pitcher or a curveball to be a good strikeout pitcher. I'm not saying you need to throw hard. Like, Shane Bieber's a strikeout pitcher, and he doesn't throw hard, but he has an awesome slider. But Morgan does not have that. But on the year, besides not getting a strikeouts, if you have him come in with, nobody on base, he is usually pretty good. We're not talking about last night, but overall on the year, he has been awesome. With a 1.93 ERA, 6 walks, and 25 strikeouts, with a 4.16 strikeouts per walk average. That is awesome. Morgan's having an awesome year besides last night, 2 nights ago, I mean. But yeah. Next is Angel De Los Santos, who in my when I did how the bullpen's feeling, the letter to Coach Francona from the bullpen, I said Angel can't fly all on his own for Angel De Los Santos. And that is because he's the only pitcher in the bullpen who seems to be doing awesome. Awesome. He's doing really good. But if you need more than one good relief pitcher. On the year, he is a 1.71 ERA with 8 walks and 18 strikeouts. 225 strikeouts per walk ratio, which isn't great. But that ERA is awesome. He can get a strikeout when it's necessary, even though Morgan has more strikeouts than him. He has a great fastball, great slider. He is a strikeout pitcher, even though he has the second least strikeouts on the team. But overall, that is his game, and he's doing awesome. I think he's took a little velocity on it, a little off of it. I mean, they're hitting the ball, it seems like, but they're putting it out, and when his strikeouts are clutch strikeouts. They'll bring him in with the bases loaded, and he'll strike a batter out. Next is Nick Sandlin. So, Nick Sandlin is the definition of mid. And by that, I mean he's never going to be your top pitcher. He's never going to be awesome. We're never going to be talking about him like he's awesome, but we're never going to be acting like he's so bad either or terrible. He's the definition of a middle-class pitcher. He has a 3.38 ERA, 7 walks, 20 strikeouts, 285 strikeouts divided by walks ratio, which that's not great, but it's not bad either. It's pretty average overall. So that's why I said that. Next is Xavier Curry. He has been an awesome long relief pitcher for us. He's helped us get long saves. One time we were up by 1 run, and he pitched 3 scoreless innings. So I think they should maybe try that again. Curry has overall been a very valuable player. He doesn't play a role that usually MLB teams don't usually carry a player like Curry to play his role, but the Guardians have, and that has helped to their success. Overall on the year, he has a 2.45 ERA with 7 walks and 19 strikeouts, which would be a 271 strikeouts divided by walks ratio, which again is sort of mid, but the ERA is awesome. And then they just brought up Michael Kelly to the big league team, who has not pitched yet. So he doesn't have the statistics yet, but I'll give you a little bit of info on him. He has been our closer in AAA all year and has done awesome. I think the reason we brought him up is because our closers have been struggling, so I think he'll have a big role. I don't know how long he'll stay up because Tristan McKenzie is supposed to come back Sunday. And they'll need to send somebody down, but I think he'll get a chance to pitch today in relief. And depending how he does, they'll see if they're going to keep him up for tomorrow. But that's just a guess. I really don't know. So now we're going to go over some injuries and other roster moves. So the Cleveland Guardians activated Aaron Savali off the IL yesterday. He pitched yesterday 5 scoreless innings and looked really good. I think Savali is going to be a great asset to the Guardians the rest of the year, as long as he can stay healthy. The Guardians called up Brian Rochino from AAA. He's a prospect for our team. I don't think he'll be up with the big league club very long, just until Josh Bell gets off the paternity leave list. Rockino probably will be the one that'll go down when McKenzie comes back. But overall, I'd say Rockino is kind of the guy who he's kind of going to play the role that Gabriel Arias played most of last year. Would be a doubleheader guy. He'll come up for a doubleheader when you're allowed to have an extra man, but otherwise we don't really need him. Josh Bell, we placed him on the paternity list. He's having a daughter. So, him and his wife are having a daughter. So, congratulations to him. He will be out the rest of the series, but will join in our next series. The team again for our next series. They brought up Michael Kelly from AAA. Like I said, I already gave some details on him. And then they placed Cal Quantrill on the 15-day IL. With oblique strain. He should be out for quite some time. I would expect he'll probably be back after the All-Star break, but we really don't know. They just put him on IR. That's just the usual timetable for an oblique strain, but that is not a good injury to get. Cal, the last time he pitched, really struggled, and they tested him right afterwards. Because he didn't look like himself. So, I think he'll be injured for a while. That hurts our rotation. But we are getting McKenzie and Savali back. So, I think we'll still be okay. The next thing is we moved Peyton Battenfield from the 15-day IL to the 60-day IL. So, that means we'll not be able to bring him back until 60 days after we originally placed him on the IL. So he won't be able to come back till probably August at the minimum. Even if he gets healthy, I don't think he'll be on the big league roster unless more injuries happen. He did not pitch very well in his short time on the big league roster. So I think whenever he gets back, he'll go down to AAA. We sent Hunter Gaddis down to AAA. I know they said the original plan was to just move Gaddis to the bullpen and, keep him as a long relief pitcher, but Curry's just been doing so well that they had to send Gaddis down. Gaddis pitched last night, 1 scoreless inning, which he did fine, but overall, I don't think Gaddis is a good pitcher. I've said this many times that I'm not a fan of Hunter Gaddis. Cody Morris is rehabbing for the Akron Rubber Ducks. It'll be good to have him back eventually. I don't think he'll be a starter, which is what we used him as last year because of all the good starting pitching that we've been having. But because of our bullpen struggles, he would be a good asset to have as a middle relief guy. He could go multi-innings like Xavier and Curry could. You really don't want to carry 2 guys at that same exact role. So I'll be watching the Rubber Ducks to see how they're using him, if they're using him as a middle relief pitcher or as a starter, because that'll be what they use for him when he gets brought up to the Cleveland. And then the last update is Tristan McKenzie will be back on Sunday. He will start Sunday against the Minnesota Twins. I'm glad to have him back. McKenzie was one of our best pitchers last year. He's been injured for the first 2 months of this season, and I'm so glad you're back, Tristan. I think he'll do great. He'll probably only go 50 pitches or so on 50 to 70 pitches on Sunday, kind of like Savali did. But Tristan, we're going to be glad to have you back. So now for the last part, I'm just going to talk about how the series has gone so far and what the Guardians need to do to come back to tie it. So the Twins, we're going to start with game 1. So our offense and defense played great. We were up 6-3 going into the bottom of the 8th inning. Trevor Stephan, I don't know what was wrong with him. He gave up 2 big home runs. They tied the game back up. So overall, our offense played really well. Our relief pitching did not do good at all. Stephan, like I said earlier, I talked about that. And then Eli Morgan was the one who actually blew it. He had a couple of walks and gave up the game-winning hit, but he needed a strikeout and he couldn't get it. I still think Eli's a great pitcher. I felt like that was a game, though, that we made our pitchers made bad mistakes. I feel like the Twins did not win that game. We lost it ourselves because the pitches that were hit homers, and I mean, they were like right down the middle. They weren't bad. They were like, he threw us 2 of them were on sliders right down the middle. So I feel like that wasn't the Twins. That was us giving the Twins runs almost. Except it wasn't errors, it was the pitching. And then yesterday we lost 1-0. The pitching was awesome. Nick Sandlin gave up the 1 run, but I'm not gonna give all the blame on Sandlin. I mean, yeah, he gave up 1 run, but he should be able to give up 1 run and win. Our offense did absolutely nothing. That was very disappointing from the offense. Hitting coach Chris Valleca, I think he's a really good coach, but he had to be upset after that game. And so we're down 0-2 in the series. Originally, I said we needed to win 3 out of 4, which cannot happen now. So if we win our next 2 games, we'll be 3.5 games back in the division, and I'll be okay with that. I mean, not what I was going for coming in, but we have to win these next 2 games. Logan Allen is starting on the mound tonight. He's been doing good so far this year, but we're going against Sonny Gray, who has been having an awesome year for the Twins. So we're definitely the underdogs in this game. I wanted to make, I'm on here, I'll make a prediction. I'm going to predict we're going to win 2-1. Sonny's been having a great year, but I think Logan Allen's going to, if he pitches like he does last game, I think we'll be able to pull this one out. I mean, we can't lose 3 games in a row to the Twins. That would be really bad. So I'll be watching that game, and depending on how it goes, I might post another video pretty soon. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and turn on those notifications for more content. I really like that you guys are watching my content. I want to thank all of my subscribers and viewers. So, for now, Casey is out.